evening, good evening, good evening. It's 9 o'clock Sunday night, so that means it's time for Poly Talk with Regal Love. I'm Eddie.
Tyra. Latonya.
And together we are Regal Love, a full-functioning black triad who live here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We come here every week to discuss poly from the amorous perspective. Well, this week has been a little rocky for all of us. Ty and I, we kind of picked up the cold that Tawn had last week, so we're kind of struggling through with our voices right now, but we are here. We were on the way here to the studio tonight. It's a perfect segue. Shout out to UwebTV.com for keeping us out there on the web, man. It's a great partnership, and it's starting to show some progress already. So thank you very much for coming in and partnering with us here. But as we were coming here tonight, we were sitting and we were having a conversation about, what's the most responsible thing that we can do as far as everybody else goes, that we come here to have these poly talks about. Not wanting to be preachy and not wanting to come off as know-it-alls, but more or less share-it-alls with how we overcome different obstacles and some of the things that we personally struggle with and we collectively struggle with. And on the flip side of that same coin, some of the things that we've overcome and problems that we've solved for ourselves or we've solved with the help of our chosen loved ones. So tonight's conversation is going to be coming out poly. It's something that a lot of people probably don't take a lot of stock in because they just kind of look at it like, well, people just understand that this is the way we are. But with polyamory having such a negative overtone in most cases, a lot of people really don't understand what we are when we say we're polyamorous. So we wanted to touch on that a little bit tonight to make sure that we do a better job representing ourselves as polyamorous people. We don't have a blueprint as of yet. You know what I mean? I mean, for most of us, we're really just trying to get our feet wet in this thing. I'm 30 years in, and I'm still learning new stuff every day because I've never been this deep into a healthy polyamorous connection with two incredible women. So for me, again, this is relatively new territory for me too. So every time we come here with you guys, I'm learning just as much as you are. But tonight, I actually am going to take the student seat for a while.
Right now, we're going to do shout-outs. You want to go ahead and shout?
Oh, we got some folks. Let's see who we got here. You know, I love to give my shout-outs. I love to see my people. All right, we got Charlie Hill. What's going on, honey? Melody Monroe, great to see you. Trey Williams, what's going on, big fella? It's always good to see you here. I love to see you guys. I love to see the gentlemen coming in here, man, to educate themselves. So you can absolutely represent better. Shout out to the fellas, man. I really want to give you guys some credit for taking the time to try to figure some things out and not be so macho as to feel like you know everything or you can figure everything out on your own. Because I did that for a long time, and I failed a lot because I did that for so long. But once I start sitting down and I start listening to other people, I love the sound of my own voice. Everybody knows that. But I love to hear somebody else educate me just as well. But shout out to everybody that's in the chat tonight. I don't want, because you know me, I can get carried away with stuff like that. But I definitely want to...
We have time, I'm sorry.
Oh, we did?
Hi, Juanita.
Okay.
Miss Foster.
Okay, well, let's see who's on speaking. We got Tiffany. Oh, okay. I'm gonna look down on this, see who we got here. Tiffany Melon Magic, what's going on, lady? Kay Chantel, hey, lady. AD Tone, always a pleasure. Rain DJ Bronx, hey, calm down tonight, bro. I love your energy, man. Calm down tonight, man. Come on with us. Come on with us. Oh, Callie and Honey, what's going on, fam? It is so good to see y'all again. We see y'all always pumping and sharing for us, man, and we really appreciate it. I almost start cussing right there because I got so passionate about it. But for real, we really appreciate that because for as much as we understand we're trying to do a good thing, you know what I'm saying, y'all verify that we are doing a good thing. So shout out to all of y'all. Appreciate it. Clay Hova, what's going on, big guy? Oh, Clay, I tell you what, man, we are actually about to start with the merchandising really soon. So I promise you, I'm going to keep you on top of that list, bro, because I know you're going to represent everywhere you go. Chun Lee, what's going on, baby? Michelle Walker, hi, honey, how are you? Thanks for stopping in. You said you was coming and you showed. I'm glad to see you. All right, man, as always, man, I love to see our good people. Oh, there go our in-laws, Juanita Foster. What's going on, baby? It's good to see you. Always a pleasure. Man, I tell you, man, so many great folks. Oh, there go my girl, Meek, that's my niece, Meek, Heather Brooks. What's going on, baby? It's good to see you, too. Thanks for stopping in. Cornelius Wilson. What's going on, big fella? Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Oh, man. Okay, I tell you what, man. It is such a pleasure to see some of these folks pop in here, man, because you guys support with everything we're doing. We know we're about to open things up even more, so I promise you we're going to give you some other things to be really proud about, man. So, I tell you what we got next?
A little background on us.
Okay.
For the new people.
Our history is simple. We have orbited each other's lives, most of our lives. But we never clicked, we never connected. I've known Tyra since she was 11 years old. I met LaTanya at about 16?
14.
14? Mm-hmm. Okay. I met LaTanya at 14. And we've orbited each other's lives. But a conversation Ty and I were actually having earlier, we had to mature to become these people, to be able to love the way that we do. Life had to take her in some different directions. Life had to show her some different things. Life had to kick me around a little bit. And we learned, we grew. And as we did that, and we finally came to the understanding that, you know what? I don't want to do no harm. All I want to do is to be able to love somebody because they are lovable. And we kind of allowed ourselves to express that to each other, and after that expression was made, we committed ourselves to just that, being able to just love. You know, no predication on what we have to be. We didn't set out to say we're going to be a closed triad, an open triad, or any kind of triad. We set out to say we are going to love somebody else, and that was it. But I really think that for us anyway, I think because we clearly defined who we were to and for each other. I think that's part of the reason why we have been able to grow the way we have. We've been able to accept each other on the levels that we have because, again, there's no pretense as to what we expect each other to be. We allow each other to show us who the other is, and we stay flexible enough to accept that version of who you are. So that's just a little background history about us.
I beat him over the head and said that.
Don't tell nobody they
That's
beat
what
me.
really happened.
Our union's going on 4 years in July.
Yes.
So something definitely to look forward to all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those little small anniversaries.
Oh my
I
God.
look forward to every anniversary.
Yeah.
We do.
We have anniversaries for everything. We really do.
We might not celebrate the traditional holidays, but we have our
Yes,
anniversaries.
we celebrate for sure. Man. Man, what else we got here? We talked.
Roger Hawthorne. Did you already say her?
Did I?
I don't know.
Callie and Honey.
Yeah, you said
yeah,
her.
we got Kelly Honey in there.
Cornelius Wilson.
Yes.
Clay Hova.
Got it, Clay. That's my guy down in Atlanta, Clay Hogan.
Michelle
That's my
Walker.
guy. Yes. Everybody up there, I got everybody up there.
Okay.
Anybody else down there?
Shout out everyone.
There's
Shout
a
out
name
to
on
everybody.
like
Shout out to everybody
Ansley
in
Williams.
the chat. Ansley Williams?
Megan Polly Johnson.
Hey, Megan.
I like how you put Polly in there.
I did too.
Anita Splashing? Oh my goodness. Oh, she tried to come get an education. Antonia, yeah. I didn't say
You
Antonia.
said Anita.
Oh, my bad. Antonia, you know I know your name, girl. Stop playing. Okay. It's good to see you. Wow. You're probably one of the last people I expected the name to pop up on our chat. No jive. All right, let's see. Well, come on, y'all. Let's get into what we came to talk about tonight. We came to talk about coming out poly. I'm usually running things as far as my mouth. So
Don't change too much.
again, I do want to give the ladies an opportunity to kind of jump out there and give their perspective, because in a lot of cases, most of you can identify better to them than y'all can to me. So, ladies, please give your position on coming out poly.
Coming out poly topic I brought up tonight. I thought it was very important for us to talk about it because I literally just had back and forth with my mother about a week ago about my relationship. So I've always been pretty much a private person. This type of relationship is new for me. I've dabbled in it a little bit, but never this serious. Married October 1919. So
All in.
All in, baby.
So I don't know. I guess once our relationship started to evolve and I seen that, this was serious, that, I started sharing it with other people. Everybody has their own opinion on our relationship, of course, but that's what it is, their opinion. So coming out, it wasn't hard. I felt like it was natural to come out, It's not like coming out the closet, I guess. Maybe it is. But,
Maybe stepping out the
people,
wardrobe.
we get certain looks when we're walking down the street and we're all holding hands, and when we show each other affection in public and things like that. And we do everything in threes, unless we got, other people with us. It's the three of us. So,
I have a great story.
so we do everything in threes. Of course, coming out to your friends is not as hard as they got a lot of questions. Everybody has questions about your relationship, so I feel like I'm talking about it all the time. I'm sure I talk about a relationship every day. Somebody has a question. If they see a picture, or if they see a post, or if they see us, they have a question. But coming out to your family is different. Like my family is religious. I grew up religious. I'm still religious, but my family is totally against it. Not my total family. Like my sister and my kids, of course, they're with it. They love me.
That's right. We love them.
Not that my family don't love me, but they don't understand it. So they don't know it. They don't understand it. All they know is their religion and what they were taught and what they believe. So that part right there was hard for me, especially like I said a few weeks ago when I had to go back and forth with my mother about love.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God don't judge, period. So I'm not trying to hear any of that. So just living, living your love out loud, living honestly, brutally honest in everybody's face. I hope it's not too brutal for you, but it is what it is. But it's love, and if you can't see nothing more than that, then you're the one who's demonizing it, making it worse than what it is. So that's my little spiel on coming out. If you have some questions about coming out poly, I'll answer those. But I didn't really write too much down. I just wanted to give my perspective on how I felt about living our life out loud when I became a part of this union. So.
And for me, it was pretty much similar. I have a very religious family, very highly involved in the church, but they took a different stance on it, which I can't lie, was very surprising to me because I expected the opposite. But I got well, if you're happy, then we're just happy for you. We're not going to support it. We don't understand it. But as long as you're happy, so be it. And they've met everybody, and they love everybody individually. They ask how everybody's doing when I talk to them. That's pretty much it. That's how I just live completely out loud, and it worked for us. I get the occasional questions. I still get questions. My coworkers
We'll
question.
get questions every day. Like
But
I said.
that's life.
Yeah,
And I have no
people are
problem telling
curious.
it. I'm happy. That's all that matters.
People are curious.
Right. You can't live your life for others. You
No.
gotta live it for yourself.
Yes.
Right.
And I'm happy with my life.
Yes.
And
Love,
nothing's gonna change my
love our
mind.
life.
Hashtag love stars.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Listen, man. I know most of you guys, you already know my story, but I'm gonna give a real brief version of it. I grew up in a very, very forward-thinking environment. I knew transgender people before I knew what a transgender was. So I never had a problem with this with my family. But let me give this a little bit. I know most of my family didn't really understand what this was. I just here recently found out, like literally one of the closest people to me in my family didn't really understand what polyamory was about. My family member, I don't want to point no fingers, but my family member really thought that we were, as I spoke about it a few weeks ago, swinger plus. Like, you know, this is just somebody that we enjoyed having our physical relationship so much that we kept them around. But after it was said, it really dawned on me that, wow. It's just like coming out gay, I guess, or pansexual, because some people don't really understand what a pansexual is.
Right.
So you come out pansexual, you have to explain it, what it means, because you automatically come up with, more than likely, the wrong perspective as to what that means. So for me, talking to my family and getting them to understand that this is about how I feel, not what it feels like.
Right.
You get me?
Right.
So when LaTonya came up with the topic tonight, it really just made perfect sense, because a lot of us, we are going to have to take that first step and come out poly.
Right, because we can't see you unless we can see you.
Right. Period.
You can see us.
Yeah, absolutely.
I always say, closed mouth don't get fed.
Right.
And from my perspective, I'll say that. From my perspective, it's so you can have clarity for what it is that you're actually doing. And that clarity is not only for the people you're explaining it to, but for yourself. So you're always cognizant of, what am I in this for? What is my prime purpose? And as with all things, you cater this to you. However you see fit to run it, that's exactly how you run it. We have more than enough friends who apply different dynamics to their polyamorous relationships. We have BDSM friends. We have swinger friends who decided that they are going to connect with a whole nother swinger couple, and that's their in-laws. And they share love between them along those lines. We get all type of different fetish friends. And with that being the case, we understand that there's just no one way to love. So,
And we did it the Todd way. Each of us have been married before, so we all did it the Todd
all
way,
of us.
and the usual Americanized way that everybody else does it.
And we found that this works much better
Yeah.
for us.
Right.
It doesn't mean it works better for everybody. It means it works better for us. And that's why we come every week to try to, give the perspective we have and hope that it helps somebody else find a way to make it work for them.
Right.
No, yeah, that's it. That's it. The desire to help. I mean, for me, and they say I have a superhero complex.
He does.
But the desire to help is real for me. My phone rings all the time, and I always make time to listen. If nothing else, but to listen. Most of you guys who, Antonia, you are definitely one of those people. You've called me 3:30 in the morning about something I thought was absolutely stupid, but it was important to you, so I listened. So that's just an example because for me it is more important. I had to let them know how important it was to me, and this is how they came to their own comfort to join me to do this. And I understand how much of its own version of a sacrifice it was for both of them. Because they are both more private people. And they have opened themselves up to allow this to happen for access to other people. Because for as much information as I have, if I was sitting here by myself, how many of you would really listen to me? I could say the same exact thing, but it wouldn't have the same punch because you couldn't see the results of what I was talking about.
Eat the pudding. Y'all gotta forgive
All right,
me.
pudding.
I'm under the weather right now.
We do want
I love
your
you.
questions, but we'll get all the questions towards the end of the show. So please save your questions. Yes, you can ask the question. Sorry.
Yeah, we're
Yajaria, did I say that? Yajaria Williams. You can't ask the question, but we're taking questions a little later. So please hold on to your question. Don't forget.
okay.
We're still on coming up.
Still coming up policy. We're still on coming up policy, right? I think I think it's important for each of us to define what our poly relationships are. In that definition, you have to leave some wiggle room, because believe it or not, you're in a constant state of evolution. And what is prioritized today may not be as important next month, next year, next decade. I remember 10 years ago, I wouldn't have been this version of me. I was looking to be served. I was not looking to be of service. So 10 years ago, I don't think either one of them would have stuck around. No, because all I wanted was to be taken care of, and I wasn't mature enough to understand that a king is only a king because of how he serves the people around him. And he cannot be king if he looks at everybody like they're under him. Mm-hmm. They crowned me, and I stand true and proud with my crown because these amazing women looked at me and called me my king. And I believed it when they said it, and I've been doing everything I can to make them proud to call me their king ever since. Sorry, hopped on my soapbox, was not supposed to do that. But coming out poly. Listen, folks,
It's like ripping a Band-Aid off. You never know how it's going to be received until you actually do it.
yeah.
Like I said, I was shocked how I was received. I expected something completely different, and it was like, oh, okay.
I didn't feel like it was ripping a Band-Aid off. I guess it was a natural transition for me. Just some learning curves and whatever, things to get, used to. Living with two other people as opposed to one.
Right.
But yeah.
Then the blending of the families.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't think that we have had all of our children in the same space at the same time yet.
Nope, but one day.
I don't think it's happened yet. Because we got kids all over the country at this point.
We
So
got the majority.
yeah, we've had the majority,
all.
but we didn't have all of them.
Yeah.
Like I said, we have kids all over the country at this point, so we still have yet to really have all of those in our families that support us.
Right.
The lines are a lot easier to see once you come out, because then you understand who actually supports your relationship and who tolerates it. Because I have another family member who vaguely tolerates it, but I listen to some of the things that they say that's not about me, but about other people like me. So how can I not think it's about me, because I'm one of those people? But anyway, and I understand how purposefully miseducated they are. They prefer to believe the rhetoric. They prefer to believe the propaganda about being polyamorous. They prefer to believe everything negative that they've heard about it, as opposed to paying attention to everything positive that's going on right in front of them.
The stability, the comfort,
The trust, the belief.
Do you know how nice it is to have people you actually can trust?
Man, look at here. That's why so many of you guys are in here looking at us right now, because you're trying to find a way to get there. And listen, folks, I don't like to bring a negative energy to anything we do, but I definitely want to address this fact. Poly can't save your relationship. Because, again, for us, poly is not about the many. We are about the love, the amory. That's the important part for us.
Poly is not a therapy.
At all. At all. It is not a cure. It is not a Band-Aid. It is not a splint. It is not a brace. It's none of that. It has to be able to flow freely. Everybody's always talking about organic connections. Be organic. Find somebody that you actually like, not just like the way they look. Can you be with somebody whose energy speaks to you? What was we doing today? Because it happens all the time. It happens all the time. Oh, we were watching ATL. And me and Tom were in the room, we're watching ATL. And I turn to her and I say to her, I never was big on skating. And she says, I was just about to ask you if you like skating.
I was. And he just started talking. I'm like, okay.
In the grand scheme of things, I don't think we're special in the regard that we're unique. I think we're special in the regard that we allow ourselves to be. And a lot of people don't allow themselves to be. This is why you making a conscious decision that just like when you decide that you want to be part of the LGBTQ community, that you want to come out, your coming out day, well, why can't polyamorous folks have a coming out? So people can understand what we mean about we're polyamorous. Again, so many people are miseducated about what polyamory really is that it's easy for people to get the wrong impression about what we're doing. I was told I have a God complex because I think I'm entitled to have multiple women. Entitled? No. Capable? Absolutely. So, and I understand that came from a place of ignorance because it was somebody who didn't understand what was really going on here. I don't take anything from them. I give. And I give as much as I can at all times, I promise you. And they give back on some, you know what? You deserve it. And I don't do because I want to earn, I do because I feel it's right. But, whole different thing. Again, folks, I think it's important for all of us to come to a position that we understand what it is we're trying to plug into, what it is we're looking for, how we're trying to do it. Everybody has to figure out how it works for them. Again, every week we come to you guys, we try to give some insight on how it worked for us. And that's all we're really doing. We're just trying to give some insight. These are not rules to follow, such as it is, and we are not telling you that this is exactly how you should do it if you want to be successful. But what we are doing is we're trying to get as much information out there as possible to help as much as possible. Do we come into anything else as of yet?
No, just people watching.
Okay, all right, as long as everybody's watching. Okay. Let's see. I have so much I really have to say. You know, I just see more and more people popping in here, and I'm talking about new names too. Okay, that's always a plus. Get to see new folks, new people coming in. Well, welcome. I'm sorry right now. I'm not in position I can read all the names because there's so much information
We did
flying
our
around.
shout outs at the beginning, but shout out to everybody who's joined.
Everybody's joined us here lately. Thank you and welcome. Come on in.
And
Tonight's
come on out. Come
Oh,
on out.
okay then.
Topic tonight is talking about poly, so you know we can't see you in our community if you don't want to be seen. So don't be afraid. Step out of your box and, you know, live your life and be happy and don't worry about what others think. You know, if you're living poly right, you shouldn't be afraid to be seen. You know what I mean?
Check them for some accountability.
Yeah.
Go ahead, girl. Get
I'm
them.
just saying, if you are, you shouldn't be afraid to be seen at all.
Yeah.
You should be happy to show love. Show people what love is and what love looks like.
Yeah, because love looks like this too.
Yes.
Hashtag
I
love
just
looks
wish
like this too.
Not live. Love.
But
Live, love, laugh.
listen, as far as coming out poly, I know a lot of folks, they asked us to create a group. We created a group, but the group we created is basically for you guys. We are not group admins or nothing like that. We're just some people who live this life. And we wanted everybody to have a safe space to congregate. But if you're looking for some more organized black polyamorous groups, plug into one of the groups that we are big supporters for. Black Poly Nation at IG. They are on Instagram, obviously. There is also a Facebook group, and that book is some 17,000 members strong. So, and here's the kick in the pants about that. I want to say a hot 99% of people in that group are of African American descent. So it is a black polyamorous group for black polyamorous people. The president and the co-presidents and most of the admins over there, I've actually had occasion to speak to each of them, and these are some incredible people, man. And they have some amazing energy, and they can absolutely help push some things into a proper perspective, because understanding that we only have the perspective that we have. You know, we don't have anything beyond that. But these are some very well-educated people, book educated, life educated, experienced polyamorous folks. So plug into Black Poly Nation at IG. Again, there is a Facebook group here. And again, we are supporters. And as of May 29th, 30th, and 31st, we will actually be contributors to the All Black Everything Black Poly Nation Conference in Houston/Galveston, Texas, that's Memorial Day weekend, May 29th, 30th, and 31st. From all information that I have been forwarded, it is going to be an entire weekend of poly forums and workshops and whatnot, and it's going to be geared towards us, people of color, and I'm beyond proud, beyond excited about this opportunity because we're going to get to touch energies with so many other poly folks, and that is wow. Because I know how amazing it felt at our wedding to have all those people there that were supportive of our choice, but to be able to actually be in Congress with hundreds of people who feel the same way that we feel. I am so looking forward to that. So everybody that is listening, if you're looking for a group that is actually going to be more user-friendly. Again, our group, Original Love, please make yourselves at home, post what you want, as long as we stay respectful and classy about it. Please, no nudes and overly sexual suggestive things. But outside of that, please, if it's love-related, let's share. We all have a position, and we all have something that we can learn.
All right, we're gonna start taking questions. Yaria Williams, your first question, we'll inbox you with that answer because we don't discuss any type of sexual anything on our show. Questions like that, as far as who sleeps with who and stuff like that, like he says, we're all adults. What difference does that make?
Right.
You know what I mean? We all know sex is being had, so that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about polyamorous, focusing on the amorous part. So for your second question, how is it with the kids? It's great with the kids.
Yeah.
I think it's great for all these different young people from different backgrounds coming together and becoming family and learning about each other and getting to know each other. And you know, you found out our sons is hanging together and they're cool. Like it's crazy.
It's great.
So
it's
it's definitely an experience.
And I think
And we mean all our sons.
Yeah, really, from
Sons are
our
daughters.
oldest son to our youngest son.
Only 2 daughters in the mix.
Only 2. That's crazy.
2 girls in the mix.
Hey, but boy, I feel sorry for any dude that don't do right. Cause man.
Yeah.
A lot of boys.
But I don't think we gotta worry about that because we did raise our daughter, my daughter specifically, my 19-year-old. She was raised in this energy, so she understands toxic behavior, and she recognizes it very, very quickly. So I wouldn't imagine that she would find herself in a position like that.
Yeah,
And I'm very proud about that because she understands when to not so much cut and run, but just understand it's time to get away. You know, because there's no need to prove that you can handle a bad relationship. Why? That don't even make sense. Why do you have to prove that you can handle a bad relationship when all that energy should be poured into making your relationship a good one?
And she's so lucky she learned that so young.
Yeah, she really did. She really did. And it makes me proud because a lot of people ask me, how do I really feel about polyamorous lifestyle? Lifestyle, excuse me. I support it 1,000,000%, and to the degree that my 19-year-old daughter is in fact actively polyamorous. So I believe in it thoroughly because I understand that there's no thing wrong with it. Right. Only thing you're doing is listen, man.
As opposed to my child trying to have 2 girlfriends and introduce them to each other and think he's poly. Talk about mom, this is Gussie. No.
It's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
Not the same thing.
This wasn't an upfront group decision.
It was a good try. You know, maybe he'll come around, to it, or maybe they won't. But however that goes.
But just understanding that, if children, and this is one thing, and I say this all the time, children will believe anything you put in front of them. I have watched children learn how to survive. And I'm talking about in squalor. I've watched children learn how to survive. And they will learn. I have watched spoiled children act like they were lacking because they believed that they were. If you put a child in a hostile environment, a child will adjust to the hostility. So if you put a child in a loving environment, guess what? That child will adjust to that loving environment.
Sure will.
So as much as so many people think that they're quote unquote protecting the children, you're only protecting them if you're allowing the information that they have access to be beyond their years. Now, if you're just letting them know, mommy loves this man and mommy loves this woman, but they don't see mommy and this man and this woman doing grown-up stuff like that, all the thing the kids will understand is, okay, that's love too. And that's all they'll believe.
Antoine Watts, come on with your question. I didn't see it in here. While we're waiting for your question, Tiffany asked me, what's poly right? And let me explain what I meant by that. What I mean is swinging is not poly. Swingers is something totally different, but these people get in these swinging relationships and think they're poly, but nah, you're just having threesomes and things like that. Right. So that's what I mean by poly, right?
Are you emotionally invested
yes.
into the people that you are dealing with?
Right.
It is not
having a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
Poly is a long-term relationship.
Right.
Okay.
And that's what I mean by that. I don't mean to say that our poly is the right way, because I definitely didn't mean that. What I mean is people swinging and calling it poly. That's
right.
That's right. What I meant by that.
It's two different.
I hope that answers
ways
your
of
question.
living.
Yeah, we're
lifestyle versus love style.
Right.
Okay. Right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. Lifestyle versus love style. And in the grand scheme of things, and let's be very, very fair, there's nothing wrong with either perspective.
No.
Nope.
You know, so I don't want it to ever be documented, noted, said, lied about that we said that we don't agree with swinging. No, never was said. What we said was our primary focus is on the emotional attachments that we form with the people in our lives. Right. Those people that we are open to love and are open to love us in return. That's where our focus is. Again, our inbox is flooded with offers. Flooded from
which we didn't need to
all over the world.
Stay here tonight, but
it's just the reality of it is we're not focused on that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
so we're going to get off of that.
The people who want to meet us to feel our energy.
Right.
You know what I mean? We want to actually start hosting live events here in Pittsburgh. So again, Pittsburgh and the surrounding areas, we need you guys to check in because we need to understand how many folks we need to start accommodating here because we really want to start putting some stuff together.
Come on out.
Come on out.
Coming
out poly. Yes. Come out poly. Yes, absolutely.
Come out and politic with us.
Okay. I like that. That's cute. We got to put that on the flyer.
We're going to run that
back. We want to start doing more. So we are going to have to be able to readily identify who our people are. We do our level best to be responsible representatives, but we can't do it all by ourselves. We cannot build this nation alone. We have the desire, absolutely. We have the energy, but we need the people. We need the pieces. You know, we can't do everything by ourselves. If we could, it would be done, and we would just be inviting y'all. Come on, but that's not how it works. So come on, y'all, let's come out poly, man. If this is who we gonna be, let's be these people.
Right. You want to read Antoine's question?
I don't know if I could see it.
Antoine Watts, question. Is requesting closed triads going against our culture or not? Some books I've read says no. Some I've read says that it's against polyculture.
Not so much against polyculture because I guess it depends on what type of poly you are. Because there is a poly that's just a closed triad.
Not but
Poly is multiple, period.
Yeah, in a closed triad, that is polyamory.
Right,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? So and see there's a lot of people who call a closed triad monogamy plus one.
Yeah.
And I think that is so irresponsible.
Right.
Because you are still loving more than one person. So I think that is so irresponsible to say a closed triad is poly plus one.
Whoever
I mean, it's
came up
monogamy
with
plus
that,
And
one.
that's what I
Y'all
meant,
need to get rid of
people
it.
that look at it that way.
Yeah,
As
so-
opposed to what it really is. And what it really is a polyamorous relationship.
Antoine, if that's where you at, brother, stick there.
Right.
If that's where you understand you can keep all your balls in the air responsibly, stick right there.
Right.
You know, to be honest, we never stopped dating. We all date. We never stopped dating. But we haven't found ourselves a natural fit, and that's why you still see us as our core. You know, we do want the huge extended family. We really do. The original love that we're always talking about, that hashtag original love, yes, we're trying to be that. We want to be connected and love everyone we're connected to whatever capacity of love that each of us are capable of giving and receiving.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it sounds hippie-ish. Is that fair to say?
You like to say
I do like to say that, I really do. Because I think hippies had a bad rap because they actually had it right.
Free love.
All they want to do is enjoy each other's company and
love.
That's it. So I think hippies had it right. I think that's part of the reason why the government shut them down, because they had it right. That would have brought all this unity back. Oh, never mind, sorry.
Right. Any more questions?
yes. Johnny Storms, how do you keep two women happy? I can't even keep half of one. And then Vershay,
Johnny, why you cutting up, bro?
Vershay said maybe you need a teammate to help you out. Go
Okay.
ahead, Vershay.
They going in the chat. Hey, listen, I love you guys. I promise you I do. You guys y'all make it worth coming here every week, really. You know, and we really appreciate all the energy and that you guys invest into coming in here. So thank you once again. Thank you from my spirit. I really mean that.
Johnny asked you a question.
What did he ask me?
How you
Oh, he did ask me.
So he
Oh,
first
that was
said-
for me. Well, Johnny, honestly, I think what it is I've allowed myself to tap into both of them independently. Like and I say this often enough. I feel like the universe split me into a whole bunch of pieces and dropped pieces of me into other people. And when I recognize those pieces of me, I know how to deal with them. So Tyra was a different situation because Tyra, she got the opportunity to learn me from the outside in. She got to see the character that I portrayed. Tyra was the kind of person that was like a fly on the wall. She got to be there when I never noticed that she was there. So she got to learn a version of me that was unfiltered. Not that I ever tried to filter myself much anyway, but and Tanya was such a natural connection. You know, that was easy. So I understand. Okay. Here's a simple answer to that question. I'm sorry, I usually do get long-winded. Find agreeable energy.
Yeah.
People that actually like you. No. Hey, look, I think people overlook that so much. Find people that actually like you. That's why last week we were talking about digging around in your friend zone. Because your friend always just want to care about you, always just want to be there for you and treat you good. So, yeah, find that agreeable energy, and it'll be so much easier to be able to manage multiple partners because you don't have to step so far outside of yourself. You know, I don't have to do much extra to keep them happy. You know what I'm saying? Because they both love me for different reasons. So all I got to do is just be me, and they find something in me to love, and I'm good. And vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't. I don't think it's as hard as you may believe it is. I think you may have made, and yes, I'm going to say this, and I mean no disrespect in saying it. You may have made a decision on your partner that didn't support the lifestyle, or in this case, the love style that you wanted. So you might want to reevaluate your choices versus your choice to love like this.
Antoine Watts came back with, so would you trust another king leading your queens?
Yes, I would. Yes, I would. And it's because I understand they are queens and they don't follow clowns. So, yes, I would.
Denise Vines, what is the address of the conference in Houston?
Actually, dog, I do not have that address with us tonight, but if you go ahead and you link into Black Poly Nation, again, there is a group on Facebook, Black Poly Nation, just type it in and it should pop up, BPN. Join them, and they are a very, very organized, very, very educated group.
Yes.
Much input. We do lives over there periodically. We will be at the All Black Everything Poly Conference with them come May. But check in with Black Poly Nation, Black_Poly_Nation_IG. That's how it should pop up on Facebook.
Okay,
No, nothing else.
Any more questions before we go for the night?
Well, while we're waiting for more questions, definitely, Antoine says, thanks for answering my question.
My man.
Thanks for feeding us questions, guys. We
Yeah.
appreciate it, and you're welcome for the answers. I just want to give a shout out to just what he just said, Black Poly Nation.
Yes.
Shout out to UwebTV. Make sure you watch us there every Friday at 9 p.m. Follow us on Twitter at regallove.33 on Twitter. And don't forget
Regal Love 3
On Twitter.
on Twitter.
on Twitter. Okay.
It's .33 on Instagram.
All on Instagram.
Yes.
Dot 33. There's a lot of dots.
Yeah.
Hashtag that original love and that love style. Don't forget to do that.
And we got the Regal Love s3.home.blog
Yeah.
on
Yeah, check out our
WordPress.
blog too.
Yeah, we're gonna start contributing more material to the blogs.
Yes.
I have some stuff that I've been working on from a male's perspective. So, fellas, this is actually going to be some material for you guys to plug into. Ladies, please, of course, feel free. So maybe it'll help you understand how men think a little bit different. So you won't be so quick to judge us as to understand us.
Myra, we still have time. You can throw some questions in here. We got a few more minutes left before we wrap up.
Okay.
She was in the shower.
Who's
Yeah, you
this?
gotta stay clean, lady. You gotta stay clean. Yes. Come on with your questions. That's fine.
Okay. I was about to say something. What I was about to say?
I'm sorry. Did I cut you off?
Yeah, I don't know what I was
I
about to say.
apologize.
It's okay. I talk a lot of that.
We will get y'all that information for the conference and for our live show that we're going to do in April. We're trying
Right.
to put that together for April.
Yes. We'd love some of y'all to come be a part of our
Yeah, really.
live
Come
studio
in,
audience.
We're going to start promoting that this month, so you'll start seeing that as well as the conference information as soon as we get that. So keep a lookout on all our pages for that. Let's see.
Johnny Storm, you in heaven, bro.
We get a little bit of heaven too, Johnny.
For what it's worth, absolutely, brother. Yes, I am. Thank you for noticing.
All right.
Oh, there go my man, Trick. What's up, baby?
Thank you.
Trick Daddy. Hey, listen. Y'all want, hey, I want to give a hashtag that is not directly related to us. I want to give a hashtag, a shout out hashtag, I have to, this is my mask. A shout out to hashtag Jaguar Living. My man Dietrich Waters, he just showed up in the chat. That's my guy right there.
And as always, Lucky 2Ks.
Lucky 2K show?
No.
You didn't see that? Okay.
Shout him out.
Oh, yeah, that always shout out to our son. But
Well, it's fine. If you wanna, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Jaguar Living. That's my man Dietrich Waters, man. He is a travel guy. He is a life living guy, and this man has an incredible spirit. I spent years hanging around with this cat, man. He's one of the best people I know. He's down there in Atlanta. He got a barbershop down there. Go down there and get crisp, get fresh. Check him out, man. This cat is serious, man. Please. That is a very personal friend of mine. That is not some cat that I know from social media. I know this man in real life. I love this man in real life. Check him out. Hashtag Jaguar Living. Okay.
Yeah, well, we were only on for, we got 4
Oh,
minutes
okay.
left.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got 4
Yeah,
minutes
we got
left.
a bump.
And
Right.
Myra Marie said, she can't right now. Her boss is in her face. Don't mess up your bag, girlfriend. Don't mess up your bag. You can inbox
Right.
us later or catch us on our next live.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Secure the bag.
For what it's worth, for any questions that folks didn't feel comfortable to post in the chat during the live, please feel free to drop them in the inbox after the fact. We do generally, through the course of, it's usually between Monday and Wednesday, we jump on inboxes to get answers back as quickly as possible. And between the three of us, there's usually somebody taking a look in there to make sure that we don't leave nobody on red too long. Let's see, did we cover everything? Black Poly Nation, covered them. Covered the conference. UwebTV, shout out one more time, UwebTV.com. Coming out Poly.
Yes. Thank
Live
you, Media
events.
Allen, for putting us out here.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
we
appreciate you.
Shout out to you. Yeah, so
Okay.
I think our live audience show is gonna be great. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be a big
I'm
deal.
excited to be able to connect with people
Yes.
Actually feed
face
off
to
that
face,
energy.
because I'm
Yeah.
a face to face person. This took a lot for me to get used to, but
Yes.
I like to network with people,
Right.
actual bodies. This-
All right. Go ahead.
Go
Honey.
ahead. No. We have another one.
No, Callie and Honey, they were saying they're gonna get us some content, and I appreciate that. Cause boy, when I tell you, we scramble sometimes, and in a lot of cases, we're like literally in the car on the way to the studio and just talking. And in that conversation, the topic for the night is born. We'll sit and we'll talk about this all week.
I got it too. Deirdre said he's
Okay.
We could do both.
Yeah, no doubt. That's my man Dietrich. See, that's what I'm talking about. That love that this, because he has a great show down there too in Atlanta. And everybody in the chat, y'all can see what my man wrote. But like I said, this the kind of support that we want, and we're going to need to build our community the way that we're talking about. We want to build our community, and I, for one, am tired of talking about it. You know, we are in a position that we can really start putting some energy and start putting some drive behind some of this stuff. So let's go on. So let's start getting these things done. Dietrich, Trick Daddy, you know I'm with you, baby, and we gonna make this thing do what it's always supposed to have done. What we got here? Oh, I was looking at it.
He said bet.
My man. Okay. I think that covers everything. I think we did take care of all the points that we stopped in to take care of. One more, guys, folks, just to wrap it up. If you expect to live this life, you have to actually live this life. Come out Poly. We are now going to go ahead and we're going to wrap it up for the night. We want to thank everybody who took the time to comment or like or share, because we see that you guys shared us a lot tonight, and we really appreciate that, because all we're really trying to do is get some information out there so we can build the community that we say we want. So this is Regal Love one more time, and when I say we love you, boy, do we mean it. I'm Eddie.
Tyra.
LaTanya.
And we want to wish y'all all the love that we want for ourselves. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
I started to say peace. So. But that's saying I do not own copyrights to that.